To make to two young men who have won some significant awards this year.
Welcome back
college baseball, which was begun
to Alex Box Stadium.
Community Service Trophy. It's in its inaugural year. It honors collegiate baseball student athletes who are active in their community and represent the programs with integrity while excelling in the classroom and on the field. The Tony Gwynn Trophy was created to honor Tony's legacy and his unyielding commitment to his community and the advancement of collegiate baseball. Well, the very first winner of the Tony Gwynn Community Service Trophy is right here on this 2025 National Championship team, Chris Stanfield, the winner of the Tony Gwynn Trophy. Just want to tell you quickly what Chris has done. Throughout his career at Auburn and now here at LSU, his Be the One campaign has raised thousands of dollars for the Miracle League of East Alabama and now the Miracle League here in Baton Rouge. That's the facility that gives children with disabilities a chance to play baseball as part of a team. It's one of the best charities in our area, in our city. Thanks to Chris Stanfield, it is thriving. Again, congratulations to Chris Stanfield, the winner of the very first Tony Gwynn Community Service Trophy. Our next award was given out just over the past weekend after Game 2 of the College World Series Finals. As this young man was 2-0 on the mound in the College World Series with wins over Arkansas in the first game of the CWS and over Coastal Carolina in Game 1 of the final series. In the two victories, he posted a 0.56 ERA, allowing one earned run in 16 innings with 17 strikeouts. And as we told you earlier, he threw just the second complete game shutout in LSU's College World Series history when he fired a three-hitter against Coastal Carolina in Game 1 of the finals. He deservedly was presented this award on Sunday in Omaha, and we're going to give it to him one more time. Coach Johnson will do it now. The most outstanding player of the College World Series, Cade Anderson. Congratulations both to Chris Stanfield and to Cade Anderson for receiving two of college baseball's highest honors. All right, now we're going to talk about this big, beautiful sign back here in right field over my left shoulder. We're going to formally recognize the Intimidator, the billboard in right field recognizing LSU's 2025 LSU Baseball National Championship. It celebrates the 8th national title for the Tigers.
Wow.
There are 8 stars on that brand new 2025 logo representing each title, which has built the powerhouse of college baseball. The Intimidator will be redesigned prior to the 2026 season so that all 8 national championships will be represented. So we'll definitely look forward to that. That is the brand new logo commemorating this 2025 national championship team. All right, at this time I'd like to ask all the team, all the coaches, all the support staff to come up, join us right up here at the front of the stage for a very special presentation. At this time, I'm going to ask LSU Director of Athletics Scott Woodward for the official presentation of the NCAA Championship Trophy to your 2025 Baseball National Champions, the LSU Fighting Tigers.
Wow, fireworks. Oh, yeah. Woohoo!
You know, some people call the fireworks at Disney, Jared Mitchell, the happiest place on earth. I guarantee you, for LSU fans, after winning another national championship, that fireworks show pretty darn good.
Yeah, there's some people that's loving this right now, and you go ahead and blast that right behind that Intimidator, which is probably one of the most notable signs in college sports.
Yeah.
Some people are having a great night tonight.
It is, and I mean, and then we talked about just the job that Scott Woodward has done, and bringing Kim Mulkey there. We see that. Hopefully, Brian Kelly gets that going right now. Jay Clark over for LSU gymnastics. We've seen the track and field teams have a lot of success, but now we can look at what Jay Johnson has done. Those 2 titles in 4 seasons.
Yeah.
Why does he fit so well, and he brings these fireworks and these titles there to Baton Rouge?
Well, man, you got to think of it first off. The ask of what was asked of him to come in there. Paul Maneri had a very successful career there.
Yeah.
Won a national title as well. And you bring in Jay Johnson, you say, we basically need you to do better, right? And he's able to come in 2 of the 4 years he's come in. He's won championships. I can tell you from being around the program a bit, from seeing him, from hearing things about it, he is the most tireless worker probably on campus.
Yeah.
The man lives at the field. I think his wife understands that that's where he's going to live, which is at the field.
Mm-hmm.
And he brings that work ethic, and he brings that every single day. And I think in a place like that where you have a fan base that's so passionate about winning, that wants nothing but the best for the program, when you have all the support that you get from the administration and everything, it's hard not to be good. And the national brand, not only in baseball but across all sports that LSU has turned into, it makes it such a hot spot for young talented players to want to come to.
Well, we talk about this about recruiting, right? I mean, no matter what in what sport is, you want to go where the fans are going to show up, and there is no doubt. If you go into Omaha, that is Alec Box North. I mean, there's no doubt about that. The whole city is taken over. But then it's title, it's history, it's pedigree, it's the stadium itself. And on top of that, it seems like Jay has done a really good job of figuring out what that lineup is going to look like. Not the batting lineup, but I'm talking about the lineup of new players versus the transfer portal, because all of this world is changing in college athletics, and I'm not sure if anybody's more dialed into it right now than Jay down in Baton Rouge.
He's 100% dialed in, and he stays in and with and very in tune to what the changes are and what things are going on in the game, right? And he stays ahead of those things. I think it's really impressive how he's able to figure out what pieces do I need to either supplement and or top off this lineup year in and year out to give them the best position, to give them the best opportunity to win ball games throughout that year. You know, they were not able to get it done in 24. Obviously, he talked about it. You go down to North Carolina, you get beat by a very good ball club then, right? And then next year, come right back and say, okay, what pieces do I need? How can I make this team better? We're probably going to lose this here. What can I put in here? And he's able to do that and put together a strong team. And he talked about it too. From start of the year through the end, they were so consistent in how they played the game and how they approached the game, and they were always a tough team to beat.
You go back, and I don't know, in kind of closing thoughts before we get back to the end of the fireworks show, I don't know if there's a better recruiting pitch than to say, you know what, if you're going to be a Friday night starter in the best conference in all of college baseball and get to play at the box, and you go 1-1 in the Major League Baseball draft. We saw Paul Skeens do that. More than likely going to see Kate Anderson do that. I think there's going to be a bevy of young guys that want to go out there and pitch there in the 2-2-5. All right, let's continue to take a look at the fireworks show going up as we continue to celebrate that 2025 Men's College World Series National Championship.
Look at those fireworks. Of the fireworks show.
Thank you so much for your support throughout this season. Thank you for celebrating with us tonight. Guess what? The 2026 season is only 8 months away.
Wow.
See you in 2026.
Well, let's go back and look
So
at
now that will
2025.
do it
The
for
season
the
was a season
for the
ranked
for the
number
national
3
championship
on
celebration.
baseball.com's poll.
Let's say thanks to all of our fans and everyone else for
This is
coming out to
number one
support our
team
team.
in the country, and
And the 2026 season will start at 8 months away.
win. 53
And,
of those wins to be exact.
and yeah.
19 and 13 mark in SEC play, which was good enough for a tie with Vandy. Third place in the
It looks like all the fans,
standings.
everyone else, will hitting back to where they have to be, as long as they have the same drives back. You know what I mean?
Earning a double bye to the quarterfinals, where they edged out
Yeah.
Texas A&M before falling for a red-hot Ole Miss squad at 2-0 in that semifinal. So they earned a 6th national seed in the NCAA tournament, the 8th time that the Bayou Bengals earned a top 8 national seed, tying Florida State for the most since seeding began back in 1999. And is this any good, Jared? 10-1 in the tournament.
Beautiful stuff right there in the tournament, and that's the mark of having two basically true aces on your staff and get you rolling right and kind of set you up to kind of roll downhill, if you will.
So we look at on this date, the announcement was made. Hello, Jay Johnson, the former Arizona coach, and LSU fans knew kind of that was one of the names since he got on the scene back in 2016 coaching Arizona that, hey man, that guy knows what he's doing. He brought him in there. They said, quote, the leader of the next generation of national champions. Do you think Scott Woodward thought when that happened he'd have 2 underneath his belt so far in 4 seasons?
Kind of hard to think you would have it and you would have it happen this quick, but Jay has kind of come on campus and really just rolled downhill, if you will, and gotten this program right back to the absolute top of college baseball where they belong, and where I think they'll be for a long time going forward.
Yeah, and again, the question is for Jay is what's next, right? I mean, we talk so much like for golf guys, it's you win your first tournament, then you win your major. When you win your second major, it kind of validates it, right? So that I think that happens with Jay Johnson. But now going forward, what motivates a coach or a player that's already on that team? Curio is one of those guys too that was a monster player to get better and bigger and faster.
I think it's having that tireless kind of wanting hunger for continuing to win, right? Like that's one of those things that the greats have is they're not satisfied with one. They're not satisfied with beating you once. They want to continue to do that and want to continue to rise the level and continue to put more kind of chips in the bucket, if you will. And I think that's kind of the approach that Jay takes to this stuff. You heard the man talk about as soon as they got back here, the plane landed into Baton Rouge and he was right back to work. So those kind of people continue to put that into the program, and that's how our program continues to roll that way.
I love the fact that you're on the desk with me here tonight because you have that unique perspective of being there, of seeing a national championship. For those watching us right now, what's that like for the guys? You talked about it earlier. It's kind of a haze leading into the trophy celebration, but right after, what's their life like?
I mean, like you especially in a place like Baton Rouge, which I think is really cool because a place like Baton Rouge now, across all of the sports programs, there are so many great athletes that come in and out of that program year in and year out, and that's just how it is, right? But the one thing people in Baton Rouge, one thing people in Louisiana never forget is the years that there was championship teams, and then when they remember the years, they can tell you just like that who was on those teams. And I think that's what those players are going to understand as
They'll be drinking a
lives
beer
go
at
on.
bogeys or something like that.
People will
Hey,
be able-
remember that guy? Remember Trey
Yes,
Morgan and the play that he
I
had in
guarantee
23?
you, there are so many people that is going to run to Cade and tell him exactly what they were doing, what they were wearing, what they were eating when he threw the complete game shutout. 100%. And that's going to happen for the rest of his life. And those are the kind of things that people remember when you win championships there.
Is it different when you go into the league? You know, because some of these guys will be back. Some of them might end up transferring out and look for other opportunities, and some of them are going to be headed to Major League Baseball. How does that success prepare you for that next level?
I think the success, I think the league of the SEC itself, I think how it's played, the venue you get to play in, the competition you get to play against, I think it really sets you up for playing at the highest level in Major League Baseball. It just does, right? You get to those spots and you don't feel like the moment is too big. You don't feel like the space is too big because you're used to it. You kind of take yourself back to what you were able to do at LSU. And I think that's why the curve of where you see some of these guys that are doing like Christian Moore and all these guys now, why they're able to kind of get going so fast at the big league level is because of the experience that they kind of went through here in college ball.
And think about the guys that decided to come back. Jay Johnson talked about Bear Jones having that conversation. What's it going to take to come back? And sure enough, he wins the national championship, and just the way that he did it was very impressive. Speaking of Jay Johnson, earlier, just in case you missed it, he took to the podium. Let's hear from Jay Johnson at the trophy celebration.
This year, coming off last year in 2024, we lost a very tough game at the University of North Carolina in extra innings. We had the lead going into the 9th inning, got 2 strikes, 1 out, still had the lead, and somehow a really good team found a way to beat us. And that was a really, really tough night, tough loss. And as I started thinking about what was going to be important, for us to help you spend your summer vacation exactly where you want to in Omaha, Nebraska, we had to formulate a plan for this team. And it really came down to 2 things. And our motto for the year was tough and together. And explaining what that really, really meant. Number one, the tough part, we weren't going to get in a fight unless we needed to. We didn't have to do that. That's good. But the toughness to be able to focus on your job no matter what else is going on. And I can't tell you how many comments that you guys have given me throughout this entire season, all the way up to this week, about how proud you were that this team was at its best when it mattered the most. When other teams would lose their way when the game was on the line, these guys continued to execute. And for my money, this is the most mentally tough team that I've coached in the 25 years I've been doing this. Toughness right on the stage right here. And then the together part, and this is the part that I'm most proud of. We only had 12 players that played in a game last year for this team, but those were the right 12 players to return, and I'm super proud of them. They're about the right things. They're great players. They learned from their experiences, and they led in an exemplary way. Then we had 10 players from the transfer portal, 2 junior college players, and 10 freshmen. And we had to work really hard for that collection of talent to become a team. And it came down to one simple phrase that these guys completely bought into, is I will always place the needs of the team above my own. And in this day and age, that is incredibly uncommon. And they did something really, really special because they always placed the needs of the team above their own. And what I'm most thankful for is that commitment to team first, the togetherness, the mental toughness, because even at LSU, even recruiting the best players in the country, you're not guaranteed success. But I made this comment several times. If I could coach this team, this 2025 team, long before they were national champions, I would do it every year of my career. So fellas, stand up right here. You guys stand up and give the 2025 national champions a standing ovation.
Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, but 6 in a row for the SEC, the most dominant conference in all of college baseball.
We love to debate about the best ever. LSU's case for best ever college baseball program is hard to dispute. All those trips to Omaha, all those All-Americans in all those dog piles. We call that timeless. And that's why the Tigers are the greatest of all time. Busch Guide, cold and smooth.